welcome to family. We've got your back. I'm Michelle Christensen.
I'm Trent Christensen.
Yay!
Today I had a day off because I had 2 12-hour days in school this week with parent-teacher conferences.
And how many parents that should have come didn't, and how many parents didn't need to come but did? What was that ratio?
The ratio's awful. It's an awful ratio. I had 20% of all students students and parents came to back to school night to parent teacher conference night, and
most of them didn't.
Most of them are good kids that are
need to talk to you.
With parents that are engaged, and so therefore the students know that parents are engaged, and they try to do well in all their classes. And so really I talked with probably 7 or 8 families that it was necessary to meet with. Everybody else was like, it's good to talk with parents.
Your kid's getting an A. Good job. Keep it up. Okay,
keep on doing what you're doing. This is what's coming up. It's a meet and greet. It's like an open house more than anything else for those families. Yeah.
And I asked our son, we're in a different school district from where he teaches, and even though we're in the same valley. And anyway, I said, how does it work there? Because it's our first year being in a different school district. And he found out and said, I don't want you to go. I'm like, okay. He said, my lowest grade is a 98%. You don't need to go. And I'm like, but if you want me there, I will be there. He's like, I don't want you there. I'm like, all right, I'm not going. I was like, you sure you don't want me to meet your teachers? No. I'm like, all right. So normally I am the parent that shows up and but he's in high school now.
I'm basically a deadbeat dad.
For parent-teacher conferences because he's at them.
Good at them.
Anyway, so the point is that I said, you're a responsible child now, so you are the one fully in control of your education. And
kinda.
Well, no, what I mean is, is your homework done? Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to hound you to see if your homework's done. No. It's your responsibility to make sure your homework's done.
But by Jove, we will take away his tech if his homework isn't done.
There you go.
So he knows that's a looming threat.
Anyway, consequence. But I was like, if your teachers need to talk to me or you want to say hello or whatever, have them give me a call. But other than that, if you don't want me there, I'm not going to force my presence.
No.
And make you go. So apparently I'm not going to parent-teacher conferences for the first time in my whole life. Oh, my baby thinks I'm a nerd. Shocking.
Oh.
I'm sure that's not it, though.
If the shoe fits.
Well, he was like, you don't need to go. I'm like, fine, I won't. Anyway, so to the podcast, Objectifying. And so Trent has a lot to say on this one. More so than the past couple.
Yeah, I have some to say on this one.
Anyway. So, again, our source is More Than a Body. Your Body is an Instrument, Not an Ornament, by Lindsay Kite and Lexi Kite, and they both have PhDs in this area. And so if it's in quotes, it's from them. If it's not in quotes, but it's a quote, it's from them as well. Because some things are not in quotes, and so later it starts a quote. Does that make sense? So the thing not in quotes is me, and then the quotation starts, and it's them. Okay?
Yeah, I see.
But if it's a whole slide of no quotation, it's from them.
Like this slide.
This slide is all from them.
No,
this is from
us. This is
the dictionary.
Dictionary.
Okay, so this week I have been in some serious discussions with lots of disagreement and passion about this subject. And
this week you have?
No, not this week.
Yeah,
but
recently.
This year. But my whole life, basically.
Yes.
Because I feel strongly about modesty. And it's not... Anyway, I don't know how to explain it. It's not for prudish reasons. Right? It's not because how dare you? right? Anyway, so the definition of modesty is propriety, okay? Like being appropriate in dress, speech, or conduct. So it's not just about what you wear, it's what you say and what you do. And even what you think, because those guide your actions. It's having or showing a regard for decencies of behavior, speech, and dress, and etc., right? So it's like appropriate, decent, right? It's like you wouldn't wear a bikini to the opera.
You wouldn't.
That's just not appropriate, right?
Right.
It's like, I mean, that's a given, right? So anyway,
if you take nothing else from today's podcast, don't wear a bikini to the opera.
Thank you.
No.
Okay, and so then it can also mean free from ostentation or showy extravagance, or just be moderate. Like moderation in all things, even moderation. Anyway, You see what I'm saying? Like just... Anyway, okay. And so the reason modesty is so important to me is at a young age...
You're not getting emotional.
Well, laughing. So my mom wanted to save some money on our summer clothes. And,
Sure.
3 growing girls and hand-me-downs. And what can I make for them that will be a minimum amount of money and that they can wear for years?
Right.
And won't grow out of. So she made trapezoid shirts with ties, like a trapezoid bikini top, and little shorts, like booty shorts. And this is what we ran around in. And then I think it was in the mid-'80s, our leaders basically said, dress more appropriately. And so all of our trapezoid tops and booty shorts went into the garbage. And we started wearing t-shirts and longer shorts. And that was the first time I was aware of being dressed appropriately. Like this is
primarily because you're too young, right? It's like,
we were 5 years old, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't a big deal that we
No.
ran around half naked in the summer. It was hot.
Right.
Anyway. And so it was like, why are we throwing away all our clothes? It's not appropriate. Anyway. And so it was my first explanation into what modesty was. And it made sense to me. It's like, cover your body, not because it's bad, but because it's appropriate. And so every time I wore something that was, I don't want to say immodest, but because I don't think I was ever immodest,
No.
but like shorter than I normally wore, or sleeveless or something, I always felt aware of how I looked instead of paying attention to what I was doing.
Right.
And I was always yanking down the hem of whatever was too short, or fixing the shirt, or making sure whatever, like I was always adjusting my clothes.
Yeah, and that's taking, So
I was thinking, I was spending mental energy about my clothes that I didn't want to spend. And I discovered that over the years, as I paid attention to, after I got dressed, to my clothing, it was a waste of my time and mental energy.
Sure.
For me personally. So I started being more careful about how I curated my closet. And if it wasn't the length that was appropriate, it wasn't even an option to buy.
Didn't wear it. Yeah.
Didn't even try it on. Wasn't even an option. If it wasn't something if it was too tight, wasn't even an option for me. And so as I made these choices for what I felt comfortable wearing. Not that they were comfortable sometimes, because not everything, like swimsuits, not comfortable things to wear for ladies. They're just not. But even my swimsuit is a pair of capri exercise pants and a long tank top.
Yeah.
And I could probably even put like a moisture wicking shirt over that, if instead of a tank top, if I wanted. Yeah. Because guess what? It's for swimming, not parading around, right? So if I'm going to wear a swimsuit, it's to do an activity that requires a swimsuit. And if you look at the Olympic swimmers, they're not in bikinis. They're in tank top, one piece, like go to their knees almost, mid-thigh, compression suits that actually help them swim. You never see a bikini at the Olympics. Nope. Because the bikini is not an item of practical use for swimming. It's just not, right? Like, there's too many mishaps with bikinis for actual sport. And it drives me crazy that is the uniform for women's beach volleyball. Not men's. Men aren't parading around in bikinis. No. They're in tank tops and board shorts. Yeah. Why can't women wear more covered clothing? If men can do it in tank tops and board shorts, why can't women? So it really bothers me that uniforms for women are getting skimpier and skimpier, while men's stay the same. Because men's clothing is more practical and women's clothing is decorative. I'm not saying women's clothing can't be decorative. I'm saying women's clothing needs to be practical. Notice, ladies, how many times have you dropped your phone because your pocket's too little? And it falls out of your pocket. Yeah. Or you don't have a place to put your keys. And so you have to carry this big purse around. Or not big purse, but any purse. Like you have to carry a bag because your pockets are teeny. Because the pockets for women are decorative, not practical, right? And so like the more you think about how clothing has become a way to objectify women, it's like, oh. And it's upsetting. It's really, really upsetting what the fashion industry has done to women. Because for men to be modest, they typically aren't as naked as women are. No. Men typically get dressed for status. Mm-hmm. And it's about status for men and like importance. I don't know how else to say it, but like they're it is the things. Like I said, she said, it's very functional. Yeah, men's clothing is functional.
When I go to work,
women's isn't.
When I was dressed up for my parent teacher conferences, I wasn't wearing my jeans, but I wasn't wearing like a full suit for crying out loud.
He was wearing golf pants.
I was wearing golf pants and a polo type shirt. Very easy, very
practical, very comfortable.
But a lot of the female teachers, they were in dresses or skirts and blouses or whatever because they wanted to look good for the parents. And
that's great because I rarely wear pants now.
Yeah,
I wear dresses because they're just comfortable for me, and they're mostly ankle length at least. Sometimes they're a little past my knees, but because if you wear a long dress, you don't typically have to worry about what's showing. No.
Anyway, we better push on because we have a lot.
Sorry, we're still on it's half over and we're still on the definition. Okay, so but my point is, when I read this section of the book about modesty, it was a revelation to me that I avoided objectifying myself because I dressed modestly. Mm-hmm. And I chose it on purpose as a way to focus on my behavior and not being decorative only. And I'm not saying that being decorative is a bad thing. I'm saying you're more than that.
Yeah.
And so that should not be the only thing you think about when you put clothing on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about any specific length. I'm not talking about whatever. But we are saying that dressing modestly
can either lead to objectifying or it can get in the way.
You can objectify yourself with what you wear, and then other people objectify you because you've objectified yourself. Or people can objectify you even though you are not objectifying yourself.
Yeah.
But you can't control other people, but you can control your choices.
Yeah.
So everybody is good. Instead of everybody is beautiful, everybody is good. And that's their main thing. So our next quote, do you want to read that one?
Sure. Just this slide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Studies on self-objectification show us that wearing body-bearing and tight clothing leads to a greater states of self-objectification, body shame, body dissatisfaction, and negative mood.
So my objectification, where I objectify myself, is because of my weight. Like we talked about that last week with my 6th grade teacher basically running tests on me and told me I was fat. I'm like, oh, well, And so that's the area I struggled with because I wasn't allowed to have a short, strong body. I just wasn't allowed to because then I was fat. And so anyway, it was, but I avoided a lot of the self-objectification issues that come with feeling the need to be attractive to people through my dress. And it's amazing how, I don't want to say beneficial. It's amazing how beneficial it was for me to have not had to do that to myself and constantly worry about my looks.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It helped that I wasn't unattractive with my face. It helps. And there's nothing I could have done. I mean, what are you going to have, plastic surgery to make yourself ugly? I mean, no. You don't. That's not your goal. And so, like, I was born with this face and, it's not horrendous. And so...
It's not horrendous.
It's not.
It's quite lovely.
But it's not nothing that I can change. Yeah, right. I can wash it. I can take care of it.
Yeah.
But I can't change it. It's what I was born with. Like, I mean, I could change it, but why?
Why?
It's like, what? I'm okay with it. And so I just take care of myself and, and so I didn't have to care about my clothes.
Right.
So anyway, but so when you dress with fewer clothes than I don't. This is the hard part.
You can't put a metric to it.
You can't put a metric on it. It's personal comfort.
It's personal comfort and personal, yeah.
But you won't be comfortable in long shorts if, like, you've decided that they're ugly. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's like so I'm trying to promote more coverage than less coverage. Because, like it said, that the this next quote, what does this say?
What this tells us.
Okay, so it's obviously small.
Yeah.
So I'll read it. These studies about body shame and body dissatisfaction and negative mood, right? Mm-hmm. What this tells us is that when you wear clothing that is especially revealing, whatever that means, or emphasizes your body, you become very self-aware of those parts that are most visible. Like if you're in a tank top, your back of your arm is visible, right? Your arms are visible, and your armpit, right? Hence the armpit fixing deodorant. Like, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You become very self-aware of those parts that are most visible and potentially being looked at. You self-objectify and are in a near constant state of sucking in, posing just right, adjusting your clothing, and fixating on how you might look. Again, instead of what you're doing.
Yeah. Instead of having your mind occupied with good, wholesome, whatever your goals are for the time, you're spending mental energy on stuff that doesn't matter as much.
It really doesn't.
It's
more important what you are on the inside than what you are on the outside.
Yep.
Right? How you look on the outside. Research shows that finding a level of comfortable coverage, whatever that means, but I encourage you to be comfortable with more coverage. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying, turtleneck in the summer with long ankle pants. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
be comfortable for what you're doing.
But you don't have to be naked to be comfortable.
No.
Right? Like, you can have long shorts and a short sleeve shirt. Just have a moisture wicking material. Right? Like, you don't, like, hiking in booty shorts is ridiculous because you get all scraped up.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
it would be ridiculous.
It's so, yeah. Anyway, so.
Functional and pretty. Yeah.
So finding a level of comfortable coverage from clothing can be an important tool in safeguarding yourself from self-objectification. And like I said earlier, for me, it was such a beneficial lesson I learned early. Try it for a week and see how it feels. Just cover up and see how it feels, okay? See if you're more aware, all right? So, the next one. Go ahead.
Yeah. On an individual level, think about making clothing choices that prioritize your own comfort, experience, and expression rather than your sexual appeal alone.
And that is from them, not me. But, like, remember, they've done research on this. They've read studies. They did their thesis on self-objectification about and every aspect of that, and what you wore told a story. And when you wear tight and revealing clothes, it tells the story that careful. It can tell the story that you care more about being an object to be looked at than a whole human being that has thoughts and value as a whole person. It cannot mean that. It could just mean I like being naked in public. I don't know. Whatever. But again, bikini at the opera, no need for it, right?
Right.
So part of being modest is wearing the appropriate attire for every situation. So like at school, there's a dress code. I would say most schools have dress codes. Offices.
For some degree, yeah.
Work. There's a uniform or a dress code at work, right?
And or at least societal norms that you can, when you're at a workplace,
right?
Yeah.
So, did you finish that whole quote? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what clothes in your closet help you feel? And so the word "help" is a change. I put in "help." They said "make." You choose how you feel, no matter what you're wearing, right? But sometimes clothing helps you feel comfortable and not preoccupied with your appearance, right? So what clothes in your closet, are you constantly adjusting? Because they're not at your comfort level, right? And you're monitoring yourself. So that will be part of the assignment. So pay attention to that quote and remember that for later. Okay. So now we're on to dress codes. Oh, whoops. Did I do it backwards?
Looks like it.
There we go. Okay. Dress codes that are designed to prevent someone from being attracted or distracted to you is still self-objectification. People will never be invisible. And they said women will never be invisible. And so boys should control themselves, right? But I say everybody can be distracted by something. Girls can be distracted by other girls' cute outfits or inappropriate outfits. And they don't have to be attracted to them. They can be distracted by them, right?
Right.
But dress codes that prevent or preventative are still objectifying people, right? Anybody who has to comply. So if you're going to have a dress code, it needs to be based on what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on, is what you're wearing making you focus on how you look and how you appear to others, as in, like, am I cool? Right. Is this outfit cool? Am I going to get compliments because people think it's a great outfit? Or is that boy going to like me because I'm wearing this? Or whatever, right? Those even if you're modest, but you're dressing for how you appear to someone else or even to yourself, that's still objectification, right? So the point would be, am I able to focus on school or work, right? In this clothing that I'm wearing.
Right.
And so that's what they should be, dress code should be focused on, not because boys can't control their thoughts if girls wear low tops, right? And so that's why I kind of changed their quotes a little bit in this one. So the quote from them that's word for word is, focus on talking to kids about being responsible for their own thoughts and actions. And that way, because people aren't invisible, right? And so if a woman is half naked walking down the street, you can teach your child, even though they may be objectifying themselves, you should not objectify them. Right? Just because they're inviting you to look and be attracted doesn't mean you have to be. Eyes up here, right? Like, but for me personally, why would you want to be that person that says, look at me, I'm attractive, I want to be, I don't understand that mentality for me. Like, yes, people want to be attractive, but I don't want everybody getting in a car crash because I'm inappropriately dressed, right? Like, and staring at me as they're like, whoa, and crash, right? Like, I don't understand that kind of mentality. And so that's something I need to work on, but it's like, I don't understand that.
Right.
I don't understand that need. So anyway.
Well, and to be honest.
But yes, sorry, off topic. But women will never be invisible. Girls and women, and so men need to learn to control their thoughts, no matter what women are wearing. Like, there's still a lot of, I don't want to say the inappropriate word, rape and abuse in the Middle East when they're covered head to toe.
Right.
And no face. They're still abused. So it's about controlling your own thoughts. versus I don't have to control my thoughts because they're inviting me to look. Right? And so, yeah, you had something to say about that.
We do have a dress code at the school, obviously. And it's mainly don't wear this, don't wear that. A whole list of things that you cannot wear.
It's not.
I'm just saying that's what it is.
It is a whole list, but it's not like.
But
it's so that they can focus on school, not because women should be invisible.
And but if you ask me if I'm ever going to dress code someone, the answer is probably not, unless it's really, really like something. And even then, I'm probably going to take it to our female admin. Because if I report it, then I'm looking, right? Even though it's
you're being inappropriate, Mr.
Even though it's
Christensen.
abundantly obvious when they're not following the dress code pattern or whatever you want to call it. As soon as like, hey, you need to head up to the office because of what you're wearing, then I'm looking. And
he's a perv.
And right. And so when you're in middle school, that's where they're going to jump to. Yes, that's when the teenage mind is going to jump to. Well, why are you looking? Like, I'm not, and so it is a rough scenario, and I don't want to be found in that. I don't want to be in that situation. So it really is, when there's an expectation for what you're wearing.
Of behavior.
Behavior, then you need to consider, what am I doing? Are my motives so that people will look? Because that's 9 times out of 10, that's what these teenagers are doing. They want people to look. And they want to get their girlfriend or their boyfriend or whatever, right? And
I want to look pretty for this person.
I
want to look pretty for myself.
And it has nothing to do with their character, And so we want to emphasize that. Make sure that your character is what is drawing people towards you. Your character is the most honest version of yourself. And so you do need to be aware and put your best self out there.
Yeah. So and we're saying both boys and girls need to control themselves. And it's easier when you personally aren't focused on looks so much and on the whole person. Again, before we end, I wanted to just bring up that quote. When you are wearing body-bearing and tight clothing, it leads to greater states of self-objectification, body shame, body dissatisfaction, and negative mood. What you wear leads to that. So if what you are wearing is leaving you shamed or embarrassed about some part of your body, or dissatisfied or unhappy, it's really easy just to cover up, basically. And we're not saying cover up because your body's bad. We're saying your body is precious. It's sacred. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
And if you're reducing it and minimizing it to be merely an object to be viewed, to be decorative.
Yeah.
That's doing yourself a dissatisfaction. That's not honoring the miracle of who you are.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so important to treat yourself with consideration and respect and say, I am more than my looks. And if you act that way through your clothing and send that message that I am beautiful, and through your clothing to other people, you have more confidence in yourself and you are able to perform better.
Yeah.
So,
and you're not going to be limiting what you could do in the public, right?
Exactly, because your clothes are in the way. Okay, so our assignment this week is choose what you want to wear based on practicality, comfort, like you're not always adjusting or itches or it's short and you're, the situation you're in, the activity you're doing, and not just for attracting others, so that you can focus on what you're doing and not what you're wearing. So the goal is to dress so that you can focus on what you're doing instead of what you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And if more of us did that, there would be, women's clothes would be more practical. Anyway, but yeah, so that's our goal, is focus on what you're doing instead of what you're wearing. And try it for a week. Like I said, try it for a week. If you struggle in that lack of modesty, look at me, try it and see how much better your life becomes. A week, a month, try it and just see how your life can improve when you focus on what's more important. We're not saying you can't be beautiful in your modesty.
No, yeah.
We're saying be more. Be more. All right.
Have a good week.
Hey, bye-bye.
We'll see you.